what the fuck's going on? I tried to make this like 10 times. It's awkward as shit trying to make a YouTube channel. But anyway, today we're gonna be putting a big 3 upgrade and a second battery in the F150. But first, we gotta clean this shithole. Alright, it's clean enough for now. Just enough to get the truck in. We're gonna get the truck in and then I'll show you what we got. We got some 2-aught welding lead and some 2-aught power wire. Got some copper logs and got a hydraulic crimper, so we'll see how this comes out. What up, Dick?
What's up, motherfucker?
All right. This is Tyler. Introduce yourself.
What's going on, folks? My name's fucking Tyler. They call me Tiller Gang. All right, we're gonna be doing an example on a big 3. I'm gonna show you, for example, on mine, but we're about to do it on the good old F150 over there. Okay, now look. Mine have a 220 amp alt. You're gonna want to go from, it's hard to see with the air filter and shit, but this right here goes from alternator positive to battery. And then you want to go from your alternator case to frame. Then your battery ground to frame. All mine are self-tap straight to frame. You can't really tell because the fucking tire. Let's get a good shot of that. See, it's all good heat shrink, all clean connections. No boot shit around here. Everything else is boot, but except for this. So that's all good to go, and this runs to my back 2 decos. Now, come to this boom ass shit back here. Now, keep in mind this is my work truck, so it's not the prettiest thing in the world. But I've got 450 amp fuses right here. And we got 4 runs of power wire going to my amp. And then we got 1 2-aught coming from alternator to battery and battery to back here. And then everything's grounded off.
I'm gonna show them the frame grounds.
Yep.
This is all the frame grounds for the amp. It's a what you have, an SKV2 4500.
Yeah, Scar.
All dual input, so there's 8 sets of wires going into it.
Yep.
And we're gonna do the same thing over here, so let's get started. Alright, so I'll be wondering why we're doing big 3, second battery, actually 3 more batteries. But anyway, I'll show you what we had before. Before we had this little number 6. I was with the old system, 2 little Scar 18s, ain't really nothing much. What we got now, me and my buddy Tyler, we just finished this. We got a flat wall with 4 DD600 series 15s. We got 2 dynamic audio 2300s going in there, strapped down to 1/4 ohm a piece. So we seen a little bit more power. So yeah, let's get to it. Truck now, and you can see the alternator right there. So this is what we're gonna do just for example. Your power wire is coming in right there on the top of the case. So we're gonna go straight from there all the way around to the front battery, up over yonder. And then we're gonna go from the mounting bolts of the alternator, which you can't see, but they're right down there on the front side. We're gonna go straight from there, straight to the frame. We'll get some of the paint off the frame when we put the ground on there for a better connection. And then we'll go from the battery straight to the frame on the negative side, and then the positive side we'll run that down the frame rail to the back and come up somewhere back there through the floor. Perfect timing. It's about to start working. Got our heat shrink now. Now, just fix and start. All right, we're gonna show you how to properly crimp a lug on here. These are the lugs. So you wanna cut a little bit past, you want about, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch past the lug. There's other ways to strip it, but the knife works the best. All right. Put your lug on there like so. And then this is Tyler's hydraulic crimper, so shout out to him on that one, coming in clutch. And then just gonna put it in there. Don't put your finger in it, son of a bitch, it ain't gonna stop. And then kinda line it up. Cinch that son of a bitch down. Got a little crooked on it, but it'll ride. Alright, yeah, see that? That thing's not going anywhere. And then we'll take the heat shrink. 4 foot of black, 4 foot of red. Well, I don't know, call that good. Lighter. And you just, heat gun is your best bet to do this, but I ain't got that. So a lighter, you just want to stay moving. You don't want to hold it in one spot too long, or you'll just end up burning the shit. But I don't know if this shit's even good. I just ordered it off Amazon. $8 for 8 feet of it, so you can't really expect too much out of it. Doesn't even look like it's melting hardly.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
1 out of 10 would not recommend this heat shrink.
I'll come back to you if it ever melts. Or you can go ahead and... Alright, I got one end on. You can see it on the alternator bracket, kinda. There it is right there. Then it goes over the frame. We're gonna come and put it under that nut right there. If you want to hold that, I'm gonna take that nut off. And then you gotta get the paint off before you put it on. That looks shiny. And you just want to make sure it's not gonna bind up in your suspension or on your belt or anything. Send that son of a bitch back home. Alright, and that's your alternator case to your frame ground. Next you gotta run the power wire. Just got the positive side on the alternator done. You can kind of see it down there. It's got the red heat shrink on it. Was a pain in the ass to get to. There it is right there. And that comes up, runs here, and that'll run to the positive on the battery. And just remember, for reminders, disconnect your battery before you do this, because we forgot to, and the alternator's still hot and it sparks. And one more thing over here on the ground, make sure you paint over where you grind off so it doesn't rust. But yeah. Gonna hook this end up to here, and we'll do the battery to the frame, and we'll be done for the big 3. Just got the big 3 done. As you can see, we got ground from the battery going to the frame right there, and just kind of cut that cover a little bit, but you can see we got the hot battery coming all the way across the alternator, and the alternator going there to the frame as we showed. And now what you got to do is, for a second battery setup, you're going to take a positive wire from this battery or from the alternator, whichever one you have more room on, and come from here, and that'll go to your back battery. And for the ground, you're not going to come from here. You're just going to come wherever your battery is. Just come off the frame right there, and that'll be your best path. Your frame flows a lot more current than one little wire will. So yeah, we're gonna get started on running the hot up into the cab now. All right, well, it turns out we don't have a drill bit big enough. I already have a hole starred, it's a 1/2 inch hole. And the way you make a hole bigger without a drill bit is you're gonna take your screwdriver, place it on the edge of the hole, take a hammer, and basically gonna cut the steel in 4 spots. See, can you see that? How it kind of notched it out right there? Yeah, there you go. So you're gonna do that in every angle you can. I can't really get in there too good. And then you're just gonna basically use the hammer and the flathead, kind of just fold the metal out the way until you get a big enough hole to get your cable through there, and that looks about big enough right there. So we'll pull the cable through and we'll come back when we're getting ready to hook up the amp. Alright. It's getting fucking hot out here in Louisiana. Fucking middle of the day. But they left me to make a Yoo-hoo run. You always have to have Yoo-hoo. This is the other end of that wire we just ran. As you can see, you can't see any of it. It's all zip tied out the way. The best way to do that, I recommend going and getting some half-inch single hole, some half-inch EMT single hole straps. Running a EMT conduit. They fit around this welding wire cable perfectly. I just didn't have any, so I'm kind of using what I got. Yeah, just gonna put that there, tighten it down, then should be able to go back there with the meter and prove that we got 12 volts back there. And the next thing is just running that one ground, and then it's done. And then next thing I guess will just be us hooking up that amp. So yeah. Alright, this is going to be kind of hard to film because I'm by myself again, but as you can see, when you have it like this, if it's when it's in flat, you got a little bit of a gap right there. That's no good. These connections are the worst. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take this copper penny, and I'm going to drill out a hole in the middle of it and use it as a washer so it sits flush. I'll let you know if it turns out good. Alright, we got good news and bad news. Good news is, penny worked perfectly. It's going to be a perfect. It's going to sit flush on there perfectly. Bad news is the pennies aren't really copper. My dumbass thought they were actually copper. I knew I should have known, but it's just silvery bullshit in there. So I'm gonna hook that up. I know we'll test power in a bit. All right, so I'm instead of using a meter, I'm just gonna use a test light. You see, I have the ground side on a self tapper screwed to that frame where we're gonna be attaching to, and you have your positive, your hot wire right there. There's the end of it, and as you can see, got 12 volts. So I'm gonna cut a piece of wire about from here. It'll come up about midway up the box. The amp's gonna be mounted on the side of the box, and we're just gonna run 1 amp for now and see how it does at half ohm. And if we need more power, we'll put the other one on there. But I'll let you know how that comes out. We're gonna do that ground right now. All right. So we have it temporarily hooked up for now just to go do some testing. As you can see, we have the dual 2 watts on there, but we only have 1 power and 1 ground. And the bottom side, as you can see, we have meter leads going here to my multimeter up front so we can monitor voltage. This is simply just a test to see what kind of voltage you can hold with stock battery and stock alt and just a big 3. It's a 2300. We're gonna do it at 2 ohm and we're gonna do it at half ohm. So we'll let you know when we come back with testing. We'll let you know what kind of voltage we hold. All right, well, in the house now. Went and did some testing, and at 2 ohm it was all right. Went down to half ohm. It was getting down, still keeping 12, 13 volts for the most part at half ohm. But then all of a sudden the truck started turning off. It turned off 4 times on its own. Every time I come to stop, it would turn off. So pretty sure something's fucked. Set a little oil pressure at one point. That ain't good. And even holding that 1500 RPM, it would still drop and die. So we got a lot of work to do to figure out what the fuck I did to my truck. But I hope you enjoyed the big 3 installation.
My prediction is it's voltage. He's not keeping enough voltage to run the vehicle.
Gotta keep in mind stock alt, stock battery, and probably 3,000 watts, if not more at half ohm. So
ratchet ass shit.
remember, always upgrade your electrical first. Alternator and batteries. Don't be a dumbass.